Thank you. Hey guys, so this is actually my first video, well, other than the introduction video. So this concept is something that actually a very close person to me is currently undergoing, and that's the concept of emotional dependence and emotional independence. So what is that? Pretty much, emotional independence does not mean, oh, well, feelings. Who needs those? Relationships, please. I mean, no, that's not what emotional independence is. That's just someone who doesn't want the connection of being with someone, and hey, if that's not what you want to do, then by all means, I respect that. No judgment. But for those that do want to have that emotional connection, this is a very important piece of information that I want to give to you guys, alright? So, the concept of emotional independence and emotional dependence stems from the belief that emotional independence and emotional dependence comes from, the ability to separate your own identity from the identity that you have once you're with the person you're seeing, right? So generally, a case of emotional dependence would come from when you see someone who says, oh my god, I can't see myself without, my lover, right? That's emotional dependence, where people feel empty, okay? Because people who are emotionally dependent feel as though they need to have that person to feel complete, okay? Whereas someone who's emotionally independent is able to discern himself from who he is when he's with his partner or her partner. An example of this would be, for example, you finish hanging out with your partner, and when they leave, you feel super empty. You feel like you don't know how to spend the rest of your day. Or if ever, suppose you plan on a day to meet with your girlfriend or boyfriend, and they say, sorry, I can't make it, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do with the rest of my day. So the thing, the most important, factor to take into account if you want to become more happy as an individual when you're in a relationship is to understand the difference between these two concepts. So then, of course, the next question is, why is this relevant? A relationship, generally, an unhealthy relationship, you're going to have either the emotional giver or the emotional leech, okay? Generally, the emotional leech will be the one who's more emotionally dependent than the other person. So for example, sometimes when you feel as though, whether you were the leech or the provider, whether you felt as though you always had to try and bring up your partner's self-esteem, or you felt as though you would receive validation. You know when you have that moment where you felt really bad about yourself, you just didn't really have that confidence. So of course, you go to text your partner and you be like, blah blah blah. And you just wait for that text back, right? For that person to be like, oh no, you're okay, you're awesome, I love spending time with you, you make me happy, and you're waiting for that validation to make yourself feel better, right? You seek validation from that person and not from yourself. So it's important to know about these two concepts so that you can really analyze yourself and realize, okay, right now I'm trying to become dependent on this person, and that's not good, because if you're leeching off of them, you're draining their energy. A relationship should be about providing each other's happiness, right? It shouldn't be about putting yourself in, a relationship shouldn't be about having somebody to support you, right? Or make you happy. A relationship is about sharing your lifestyle, sharing your passion, sharing what makes you happy with the person who you feel should be a part of it. That's what a relationship is about. It's about sharing mutual happiness, mutual intimacy, right? Mutual emotions, mutual trust, right? We're two human beings in this world, and we each have our own lives to live, right? No one should dictate how somebody else should live their lives. When someone is emotionally dependent, that tends to be forgotten. It would involve somebody invading themselves into somebody else's life, or trying to possess somebody else's life. So, Matt, how do I overcome this? I feel like I'm alone when I'm not with this person. Well, you have to look back at how you used to be when you were with that person, right? If you came into a relationship unhappy or unsatisfied with yourself, that in itself is already not a good thing, because you can't go into a relationship not yet knowing who you are as a person, what makes you happy, what your passions are, and how you can benefit from a relationship, right? It comes from the old saying, you can't love someone until you love yourself, and that's exactly where it comes from, because if you do not love yourself, you cannot be emotionally independent. That's what's important to see. So as an example, what my friend explained was that usually people sometimes see themselves as incomplete, or some people see themselves as being satisfied with themselves, okay? So the way that he showed this was how people would look at themselves as kind of a semicircle, right? People that feel as though they're incomplete. People that feel as though they need a relationship to become happy with who they are, right? They need somebody to make them happy. So these people, the emotionally dependent people, look for somebody else, right? The majority of people are emotionally dependent, so they're also going to become a half circle. So you have people trying to find each other, and when they finally find each other, they make a full circle, and they think that it's a really stable circle, but as soon as there's one small opening, the whole thing unfolds and crashes. So then you think to yourself, well, Matt, if you're already complete, why would you want another circle, right? Why would you want to look for somebody else who's complete? Well, if you're also somebody who's emotionally independent, and you have two people in a relationship who are both satisfied with themselves and can learn how to reap the benefits of a relationship, of having mutual happiness being shared between two people, mutual passions, mutual anything, right? People that can just have a mutual understanding of each other and how to both please each other at any level. What happens is that instead they connect to create two strong bonds that are really hard to separate, right? And that's how much stronger an emotionally independent relationship can be. So how do you achieve that sense of strength, right? Well, you need to be able to seize the passions in your life. Seize what makes you happy. Understand that the person in your life is not your source of happiness, but is there to make you happier, right? You need to be able to see where your priorities are in life, how you can accomplish them, and how you can be the best version of yourself. Somebody in a relationship who really cares for you and who is a good part of your life and who will mirror your best self will help you push for that. But they will not carry you or drag you towards your end goal, towards becoming your best self and to reach your happiest self. The only person that can get that is yourself and no one else. Seize what makes you happy in life. Aim for it. Share your passions with those around you. And invite everybody to live your life. And invite everybody to smile with you on your journey towards being your best self.